As those floodwaters start to recede around the tri-state, the attention is now turning to cleanup and assessing the damage and recovery. In Kentucky, state and local educators have teamed up to help. Davis County Kentucky Education Association and Davis County Public Schools have started a donation drive for flood victims and families. And joining us now to talk about this is Melissa Reed, president of the Davis County Kentucky Education Association, and Charles Broughton, the superintendent of Davis County Public Schools. Thank you both so much for joining us. This is a wonderful thing that you're doing here. We want to find out more about this. But first, tell us the impact that this flooding has had on your community. We're seeing the pictures, and it looks like it has certainly been devastating for some folks.
And that's what got me thinking about this. The floods have been devastating. I've seen all of the news stories. I've seen students within our school system and coworkers be displaced from their homes. And I know that our neighbors in McLean County, a lot of them are completely underwater. So, you know, I thought about KEA being all about unity and working together towards a common goal, and I thought, how cool would it be if we could incorporate our schools within that too? And when I approached Mr. Broughton about working together on this, he didn't hesitate. He was immediately on board.
I have no doubt about that at all. Now, you know, as educators, both of you see firsthand how your students and families are hit by this disaster. Schools are really the heart of the community. Tell us what you're seeing and how your school and education have been impacted by this.
Yeah, I can try to speak to that. So last week we weren't the only county in the state, as we know, unfortunately, suffering from the flooding, but our community, you know, school system, we're the 10th largest school district in the state of Kentucky. So we service a lot of kids, almost 11,000 kids. And you're right, a lot of the families and kids depend on us. And so it was a tough week last week on many levels. One, trying to determine, could we go to school? And we were able to get 2 days of school in, which we were thankful for, to give some normalcy to those families. But during that time, myself and several others in our district out driving the roads and seeing the impacts, it was heartbreaking. We'd see cars that were, you know, partially submerged or almost completely submerged. We'd see homes that were saying partially or you know, a large portion of it submerged. So just knowing that there was a human person, you know, a human being connected to that was very difficult to see. And you know, the impact ran wide and great, but where it has settled and where it has hit the most heavily is in that west side of our county, in the Curdsville and the Stanley area. They're still in the process of just the water receding, where they can get out and about and access to those areas. So it's been hard, no doubt. And like Ms. Reed said, even though we've suffered a lot, McLean County and our neighbor to the southwest, they have been hit very, very hard. And so our heart goes out to them as well.
Well, our heart goes out to all of y'all that are dealing with this today. Tell us about this donation drive. Melissa, you talked a little bit about that's kind of why, everything we just talked about is why you decided to start this drive. How are you asking people to help?
Well, so the schools are the center of our community. So what better place to gather donations than at our school buildings? So donations can be dropped off at any of our DCPS sites within school hours, and you donate bottled water, non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, of course, will be in big need, like latex gloves, work gloves, mops, buckets, all of the things.
So just folks can just bring them to the schools then in the Davis County, in any school?
And the people in those schools know that I am the point of contact, and they're going to email me, and I will start gathering those items and seeing what we have, and we'll go from there.
And where do we feel like is this going to be distributed only to Davis County, or is there a possibility that it may expand beyond that?
Well, my hope is that the response will just continue to grow, and how amazing would it be if just our county, you know, what started out as a county drive, we could impact families in other counties as well, in other parts of our state.
Now, what about folks that may need some help? They need some of these items. Should they contact you? How do they go about getting this help?
So they can call the Davis County Public Schools Central Office and leave a message for me, and I will get back with them and we will work to get them the supplies that they need.
And I do know that as you're doing this, it's got to feel good to be able to do something to help. But I know that, you both talked a little bit about the impact this has had just, on what you've seen. But I also know the schools, I believe, in Davis County are in session this week. Are you talking to kids, and are they telling you what they've been through?
Yeah, I know that our school leaderships and our teachers, that's been understandably a topic of conversation throughout. We did return on Monday. We had over 94% attendance on Monday, which we were so thankful for, to get those kids back in school. That sustained on Tuesday. And so, yes, they're talking about some of, as the pictures go up there and the video footage goes up, I mean, it's been devastating to families, and the recovery will be long. And I hope they know and will know through this flood drive and other activities that go on even within schools that we're here to help them.
Absolutely.
And if they reach out and we're able to do it in any way, shape, or form, we're going to provide that relief if we can.
And I know kids can be really resilient, but to have a safe place for them to come and get back to a normal, somewhat normalcy, with the schools there and with you all, everything that you provide is so important for them. One more question real quick before we run out of time here. If there are folks that cannot make it to the donation site, do you have an alternative for them, Melissa?
So once again, they can call central office and leave me a message, and if I need to arrange for a pickup to pick up some supplies that they have, or if they wanted to make a monetary donation, we can work with that as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you both so much for all you do for our kids, but right now specifically for this donation, because I know it's going to help a lot of folks there. So thank you so much. Hopefully we spread the word, and you'll get a ton of donations to help folks there in Davis County and perhaps beyond. Thank you, Melissa Reed and Charles Broughton from Davis County educators there. We appreciate all that you do, and we'll have a list of the donations and more information on our website, tristatehomepage.com.